leaving it.
Leave it.
We're leaving it.
You can't not plan this. I don't like the clutter, mess, destruction.
Phone on the floor.
All right, Mountaineer Kingdom Dude Talk, real men, manly talk. I'm Josh, Jared, Nick. We just wanted to jump on here for a few minutes and kind of share what our purpose is and how this all started. Quickly, about a year and a half ago, maybe even not quite 2 years, we were having a life group over at Ryan's house, and they're not with us. They had some things to do. And we were having a Bible study, and I think we were doing Ephesians at the time. And one of our friends said, "Hey, that sounds like it'd be a pretty cool podcast, just a discussion and how it free flows."
We used to call it the round table.
The round
way
table.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Then they got rid of the round table.
But we're better in circles, which we are. That was a joke. So that kind of, the seed was planted for that then, and then we talked September or August. I called Nick up on my way to work, and I'm like, "Hey, I think we should do a podcast." And he agreed, and nothing really came from it at that point. And it's always been in the back of my mind to do something because we are called to talk about Jesus, promote the kingdom. And then we were all at church the other night, and Ryan was serving on the headphones, and we was all up there, and he said, "Hey, it'd be fun to do a podcast." And just like that, Nick was on it, got it together, scheduled. We did our first recording, which I think we're in agreement, turned out pretty well for your first try. But the goal is to promote Jesus in a manly way because we are men created in his image, and the world's changing, and there's so much evil propaganda getting shoveled down our throats and in our lives and our kids that it's time we start taking that back and bringing back kingdom principles in a manly way.
Absolutely. Whenever we initially had this conversation 6 months ago, not the idea part, the 6 months ago conversation, I thought, wow, that's going to be a challenge to make all that happen.
Yeah.
And that was 6 months ago, and it was still in the back of my head for those 6 months. And then that Sunday, when I think it was in the hallway after church, when Ryan was sitting there with us, and you're like, "Let's make this happen." And I was thinking, "Let's do this." And then it was 3 days. Hey, I dug out the arms. Day 4, I found the microphones in the closet.
Wow.
Day 5, it was like wiring together, and like Saturday morning, it was like, this is kind of put together.
And obviously it's a work in progress, and we don't really have any I've never been on a mic before, other than in a church, small church, as preaching as a teenager. But the goal is Jesus first, promoting Jesus, and if we can encourage or shine a light to other men to step out, because this is all faith. This is all, we can do more for the kingdom. I was listening to, I told you this wasn't going to be 2 or 3 minutes, but I was reading where Jesus was feeding the 5,000 at the time, I believe, and the children came up to him afterwards, and the disciples were like, no, don't do that. And he said, "Suffer the little children not." And the Holy Spirit, he asked me a question, and I almost answered it with a question, but it was, if you have the ability to do something or the means to do something and you don't, are you suffering them? I'm like, oh, am I? Yeah, I am. Right. I have the ability to change, or to at least speak about Jesus and to help people. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yes.
The famous non-vague answer. So
as we get farther along, I definitely want to say this, like, the more we get the more we get stuff under our belts. I know this is a really cool shirt. I love that with our logo on there. But our very first shirt is going to be like a silhouette of your head and just yes.
Yes. While Josh is bringing back 1990s grunge.
Yes. I thought about this the other day. So I'm like, I don't want to button my shirt. I don't know why, just laziness.
Just takes too much time to
it
button.
Does. And they're nice buttons.
And we didn't
right?
even
They're
talk
pearl.
today, but the plaid flannel, whatever you want to call this, I thought it looked manly.
Grungy. I I missed the 90s. We were over here last Sunday in their life group, and they were talking about, what's the pants called? The big...
Oh, Jinkos.
Jinkos. And I'm like, the 90s. That was such a fun time.
Some of it, yes.
He can't say more. But our goal, again, is to just preach the word, teach the word in a manly way. And we have an email address. Want to share that?
It's MK, like Mary Kingdom, Mountaineer Kingdom, MK Dude Talk.
Could just use the original. Let me think of a new M.
No, it's mkdudetalk at gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll put that in the banner. It'll also be in the link. If you have any questions or you want to say something nice, just shoot that an email. We'll maybe read it live. By live, we're going to prepare for it and let you think it's live. And we'll maybe answer some questions if you feel the need to do that. If we don't get any responses, we're going to be really sad.
Wah, wah, wah.
And anything to encourage and anything we can help you pray about, send that to us. We're always looking for a reason to give it to God and so he can get some glory out of it.
If there's any specific topics you'd like us to cover as well.
Something you've studied and it didn't make sense. There's a plethora of knowledge between us. I mean, we all have resources and backgrounds. I look to a lot of most of you as some experience and good, wisely, godly counsel, and the knowledge you have and the resources that you have to get the knowledge. I mean, we can help you find an answer.
And then also, throughout this journey, we'll have guests come in and do some discussion, experts in the different fields and things like that. So people that we respect.
So yeah, we definitely wanted to jump on here today, and this is just going to be a short little video, not necessarily a podcast or poster. This is going to be more like a kind of an about us section. Like, hey, if you stumble on our channel, watch this video. This is going to kind of give you a brief demographic of what we're trying to look to do with this channel, with this podcast, with honestly, we're looking at it kind of like a ministry at this point. We're goofy at times, and always make sure to put that tagline in there. We're not everybody's cup of tea,
and obnoxious and annoying.
You're not always going to like what we have to say. You're not always going to be on the same page, but we don't care.
No. Well, the thing is, things we're going to say is going to be offensive because the Bible is offensive to sin.
Very offensive in this day and age.
And it's not ever going to be out of a place of bashing, because that's not what we're about. It's about, if you listen to the first episode, it's pursuing love and a godly love. If there is something that is offensive and it's based on the Bible, we're going to stand firm on the Bible, right? That is our source of truth. It is the only source of truth. So if it is offensive to you, we can still have a dialogue about it, because it is coming from a place of concern. If you see somebody that's going to be running off a cliff and they don't see it themselves, wouldn't you try to stop them?
Yeah.
Or wouldn't you encourage them to do good things? That's what this is about. It's about love and promoting Jesus, because Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice for us. And before his return, I've heard my whole life, he's coming back. I will say that I feel that it's sooner than I ever thought, just because of the way the world is heading. And before that happens, we just want to get Jesus out there as much as we can, because we have the way and the means. So we're stepping out in faith.
I'm going to say we semi have the way and the means at this point in our...
It is a shoddy establishment we're in. And if there's any sponsors out there that would like to help us, get professional, go to that email address.
That's a tall order that would require counseling, right?
Oh yeah. For our minds, that's not going to happen, but no, I'm just kidding.
But no, we are definitely. I don't know if the viewers can see or the listeners can see. We enjoy just being here doing this.
Yeah.
This is literally what we normally do any other time. The viewers and the listeners are just getting to peek in on it.
Yeah. So Haley was, she's always been curious, like, what do dudes talk about when they're alone? And I said, well, if we do this right, you're going to be the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we love each other, we love Jesus, but we're still men, and we're becoming what he's molding us to be. What's the song? At least about the potter's hands, or the
the ultimate goal was when we go on our adventures, plug for our YouTube channel. We're eventually going to have some cool adventure videos on there.
And some funny ones.
Our goal is to eventually do this by a campfire.
That would be fun.
In the most manly setting imaginable, in the middle of nowhere, around the campfire. I'm looking forward to those type of recordings and podcasts as well as we get better at this and figure this out, and as technology gets working better. And
Yep.
Sponsors. Sponsors, please. All right, I think that's what we're going to do for now.
Yep.
We appreciate anytime you tune in. Please, any video you see, give a like and a subscribe. That just helps us reach more people. We're not in this for any fame, fortune, or money. We're just in this to promote Jesus.
Yep, absolutely. So thanks for joining us today. Like we said, this is just a quick about us video. If you stumbled onto our channel, look at some of our other posts and videos. We definitely got some funny stuff. Definitely some funny stuff coming out this week as well.
And some is cringe.
Yes.
So for the Yes Man, Jared, for Josh, I'm Nick. We're minus two of our guys who had to get to some other stuff here on this Saturday morning. But you guys have a great time, and thanks for joining us and checking out our channel. Have a great day.
Really missing Andy here dancing on the music.